Alright, YouTubies. All the AN fittings are hooked up. Everything except the feed from the radiator here. I'm waiting on a fitting. It'll be here tomorrow. I had to change a 90 to come up so I could get the hoses to line up parallel. Both the vent tubes run down here to the catch can. Top radiator hose. Bottom hose feeding the block out of the pump. The other hose feeding the block out of the pump. This hose comes out, goes into this radiator, out of this radiator, comes into this T, which is a temp sender in it, comes out of the T, comes up, and into the top radiator hose to go back through the big radiator again and into the engine. It's real easy. I was going to use this originally to cool the wastegates, but I went ahead and incorporated it because the big radiator I had in here was for like a 7072 K30 C30. This is a 4-row S10 swap radiator, 4 rows of 9/16 tubes. This is a 12x15 with 2 rows of 1-inch tubes. These two together are more cooling capacity than the one I had in here, so there shouldn't be an issue with it whatsoever. But they're all in except for that one. The only thing lacking starting this is I got to put, of course, start adding transmission fluid to it when it started. I got to get some fuel for the cell because this is going to run on VPMS 109. Please, grandson. Grandson's driving me up the wall. He only been back a few minutes and he's already driving me nuts. Pawpaw-itis, but what can I do? Fuel lines are run, other than I have to get some fittings in here for the nitrous solenoids, get the nitrous plate put under it, but we're going to fire it up with just a spacer in there for now. I want to get it running, then we can finish up all the little shit. Pull the back wheel off, and I added a little surprise back here to help with the rear end, to dampen things back there, and I'll show you guys that later on. Basically, if you ever seen a Ford Explorer and it has that sideways shock, well, I did that, but we kind of modified it a little bit. Some people say, oh, you don't need it. We did this on another car and it helped immensely, so I'm gonna give it a try. If I don't like it, all I gotta do is take it off. Oh, my grandson thinks I need blue lights on my valve stems. Gotta get the shifter in it, and I'm going to make the shifter bracket come off the seat bracket. Get it where I want it. I'm putting a ATI shifter in it, which is basically a sidewinder shifter. It's just the sidewinder shifters. The cable comes out the back. I can't think the top of my head who makes the sidewinder now. The ATI version of it, which is the same shifter, still says sidewinder on it. Everything else, they come out the front, which is what I want, the front exit cable. Pretty much that's all I got done today. Fuel line, return line. I'm going to do something with this. I don't know what yet, but it's hooked into the top of the cell to return the fuel. I got new batteries to put in it. I gotta get that done. But I put air pressure through the radiator. I never said this in the last video, but through the radiator and through this radiator, nothing leaked. So we're good on that. I just filled it up with water. I put 18 PSI, I think it was 16, 18 right in there somewhere. And there was no, I left it overnight and there was no leaks. It was still sitting there at the same pressure when I come back out. So I just had to cap these off and make a fitting to put air into it. Anyway, that's it. We're getting closer. And like I said, when I go to fire it up, I will video me doing the handheld and entering the cubic inches and all that stuff that it asked for. And we'll light it off and see what happens. It's either going to run or not run. One of the two. Can I please have the wrench? Thank you. It's either going to run or not run. So, and then once we get it fired up and it'll come up to temperature, and I'm going to run it, and I have my own procedure I do for firing it up and getting rings seated and so on. Once I get it through all that, it should be up to temperature. Then I'll worry about letting it go into learn mode. So it goes into learn mode at 160 degrees. I've got 180 degree stat in it, which should be fine. And before anybody says something about the electric water pump running all the time and pressure against the engine because of the thermostat, it's going to bypass with this little radiator. So, and on the old setup, I just run this out and over into the cold side of the radiator, and it sucked the water right back in the motor, and the truck never run hot. Never. So, but we'll see what this old girl does. This engine's going to make a lot more power just on motor alone than the old one ever did. So, a lot more. And then we're going to put spray to it, and I'll almost say it's somewhere between 250 and 500. So, I know the engine will handle 500 with the internals that are in it. So, I'm going to chase. My grandson just snuck off behind her. I'm going to get him done. I got to get the front tires mounted up and get them on. I'll take them up and get them balanced, because all I got is a bubble balancer. I don't have a spin balancer. And get them on. We're going to get it running. Then I'll worry about doing the spindles, the lower tubular control arms, and doing all the little bitty stuff. I want to get this thing where it'll run. This engine has been setting since February. So it's time it fired up and run. So, with that being said, I'm going to end the video. I appreciate everybody that subbed to me, everybody that's watching the videos. I have to go in and look at my comments because I'm not getting notifications on them. I don't know why. I just, something's not right somewhere. But I go in and look, see your comment. I'll try to answer it if it's a question. As far as the Super Sniper, this is the 1250 horsepower. I think the part number is 513. The pump I got is, I believe it's the 1200-2 pump. But this thing will, let's see, was it 1250 naturally aspirated? And I think, well, they say like 1500 or something with a power adder. So anyway, I'm going to look into the nitrous controller that they have with this system. If I don't like it, I'll just buy a freestanding controller. But I'm going to grab the little man back here, and we're going to go inside, get cleaned up, call it a night. Wife's on her way home from work. She's been at work 14 hours today, and, you know, she's an RN, but thank God she works with Alzheimer's patients. She doesn't work with people with COVID, but anyhow. So, again, everybody be safe. God bless everybody. Put the videos up. If you got any questions, throw them in the comment section. I'll try to answer it. Or email me at backyardbuilttrucks1@gmail.com, and I'll check my email. I check my spam folder a couple times a week. If I don't get back to you, just stay on me. Okay? Again, thank you, everybody. God bless. Goodbye.